And we're back.
Would you like a piece of orange?
Do I want a piece of orange? Oh, you gave it to Chap before you gave it to me?
Yeah. You never take any of the things I bring you.
This is the first time I've been offered food on stream live, publicly. Howdy,
Because I always offer it to him before he hits the go button.
That's right. And then I go 3, 2, and 1.
I'm like, hey, Chris, look what I brought.
Wow.
I brought granola bars.
Look what I brought. Do-do-do-do-do. Here we go.
I never say do-do-do-do.
Thumb palette, sarcastic Grandpa Mo, Sir Bartholomew. That's fun. Tomfoolery.
I've never
Ochre.
in my life
What's that?
said what Chris says I say.
No, you do actually do.
No, never.
I hear it all the time. Where am I hearing it?
Not even once have I done that.
I've heard it many times.
Only when saying that I don't do it.
Well, I mean, tomato, tomato.
No, you can't have that be doing it. Right?
I don't know, man. I got to get the soundbite.
Oh, Jesus. Out of context.
Well, we're starting off early. Hey, Ray, we caught you orange-handed.
Orange-handed.
That was a stretch, Ray.
Orange, you glad I didn't say banana?
Okay. Aren't you great? Aren't you great that I didn't say banana? Is that what you just said?
Orange,
No.
you glad I didn't say banana?
Look at this guy. We finished with the face last week.
Orange, orange, you
Aren't you
gonna say you love me?
Jason, how's it feel to be in the last days of your official legal youth?
Wait, this has all been youth?
Technically, yes.
55 is when you lose your youthfulness?
No, I don't think that's so. It's just the official. What's the word? That's when money starts to get involved. Discounts.
Oh, my $1 off at Denny's.
$1
Yeah.
off at Denny's.
Yeah,
Oh,
Denny's
speaking
is
of
going to be my new haunt.
$1 off from Denny's. Big Bobzilla.
I get to use the seniors menu on the places, which I think they would have already given to you, but maybe not.
97 months, Big Bob.
Yeah, it's senior discount time.
That's right.
Isn't that crazy?
55.
55.
That doesn't seem senior enough. 55
Definitely
is
not when dealing with me, it doesn't.
55 is not senior.
I don't feel like it is. Not with me. I have met some 55-year-olds that I'm like, yeah, you need to be in a home.
Oh, yeah.
They're just not fun anymore.
That's true.
They're too serious about stuff.
Dumbrus, Rattlecan, Alexander.
Hey, everybody. I hope everybody had a great long weekend. If you celebrated the Memorial Day weekend with us here in the U.S., if you're abroad, I hope you had a wonderful weekend and that your week has started off great.
This week is going to be a week to remember.
A week to, he says. Okay, I'm very worried.
Why would you worry ever in your entire life? I don't think you need to be worried. For all of you just now tuning in and who have seen our schedulings and all of the above, right? This week we have a very special week. First off,
can I get a show of hands in chat for people that don't trust Chris?
What? Don't trust me?
If you don't trust Chris, I need to know.
What? I'm so trustworthy. It's kind of like prom week, Panic Bomb.
Except not at all.
Except the exact opposite and not at all.
No, I think I should be worried as well.
I think you should be worried.
I'm on the verge of this.
You're on the verge of blinking twice. So...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm worried. I'm
very
scared
clear.
for my life right now, Chris.
So, big week this week.
I'm not
Speaking
sure
of
about
big
that.
week, our heavy bodies, our expert artist Acrylics have released this day.
Today at 9 a.m.
That's right.
Who got theirs? Razor
got
says
mine.
he trusts Chris to be Chris. That's a
right.
fair one, but because what you've really said is you don't trust Chris. So I count that.
What?
I trust Chris to be untrustworthy,
What?
is what you just said.
What? I wouldn't say trust, but more benefit. Okay, I'll take that one.
You give him the benefit of the doubt?
Okay. Don't trust him
Ooh, that's a
any
stretch.
further you can throw an elephant. Whoa!
Well,
Okay.
probably.
All right, but you guys will.
Probably a good plan.
Here's the lowdown. Expert artist acrylic release today. Tomorrow, Jason's birthday
Is Friday.
No, your birthday celebration, fun, win-win business time is tomorrow.
Fun, win-win business time is tomorrow.
Yes.
Is what he's saying.
So for all of you out there, spread the news. We're going to be doing some little giveaways tomorrow. Rattlecan sent us over 2 Dauntless brush sets to be given away. Plus, we're going to give away some of our new Expert Artist Acrylics.
Yep, 2 sets.
And
2 full sets of Artist Acrylics tomorrow, along with some
what
Dauntless
else?
brushes from
who knows what else will happen tomorrow.
Rattlecan. Nothing else will happen tomorrow.
What are you talking about?
I have not given clearance for anything other than those things we just spoke of.
Clearance?
Yeah, clearance. I'm the boss.
This
That's
isn't
how
a
that works.
flight path. This is win-win, fun, birthday win, business time. So, and then guess what? Guess what happens the day after? We're painting a dragon.
I leave. Thank
I'll
God.
be on stream Thursday
I'll
and
be on an
Friday
airplane.
painting Smaug.
When you guys are streaming, I will be on an airplane.
That is how I like it.
9.5-hour flight
Good.
to Helsinki, it turns out.
Helsinki.
I have to go through. They're routing me through Helsinki, which is very scary because there is already a strike of airport workers listed for that Friday when I land in Helsinki. So this could all go completely awry.
Well, here's
I could
hoping.
land and then not be able to take off again. Like I could be stuck in Helsinki, Finland until Saturday, which I will literally be in the news. You will see me in the news if this is the case. I am not losing a day of my trip to some idiocy of airport workers in Helsinki, Finland.
Did I strip Smaug? No. He's sitting right over here to be reprimed.
I don't know how far it is from Finland to Poland. That feels like longer than I want to take a train.
I think it's like a 5-minute drive.
That's it? I could just
think
walk.
so.
It's just across the street.
I think so.
Finland to
Right?
Poland.
I'm geographically speaking.
I'm not sure if that's the case.
I don't know either,
I
but
got to get to Warsaw.
you all, this is what's happening this week.
I think
This
there's
is a
water
big
between
one.
those two.
Nah. Okay. Yeah, like a good understanding. See, here's the thing. You all have asked for Thursday and Friday. This was not me. There is visual and video proof of people asking for a dragon to be painted, and it will be painted. Isn't that right, Jason?
I don't know what to think anymore. I'm going to start painting.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm going to do.
Speaking of painting, welcome in everybody.
Speaking
if you are
of
not so
painting,
excited about this week, I don't know what's happened to you emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. This one is a big one. Fun, win-win time tomorrow. Well, it's fun, win-win time every day when you're Jason HB Craze. So, yeah, it's going to be a big one.
I do tend to have fun every day. It's one of my things.
True.
It's one of the things I like to do. I like to have fun. I like to enjoy my time on this rock as we hurtle through space
That's right. Hurdle.
at inconceivable speeds towards a destination no one knows.
That's right. I mean, if you aren't all just absolutely stoked, though, for this week, I don't know how to help you. But I do know how to help you now. Make sure your eyeballs are glued to the screen while Jason paints, because we're getting into business, serious painting time now.
I don't.
None of this tomfoolery. Although tomfoolery, your name, see how that works? I can't use tomfoolery unless I'm talking about tomfoolery. 3, 2, 1. Tomfoolery, great name. T. Schmid, what up? We're here for a good time, not for a long time, ladies and gents. Well, I'm here for a long time, not a good time. You guys are gonna love it. What we come up with.
I'm here.
I have a whole plan. And then the following week, Jordan and I are going to have serious
Could
business.
your plan include topping off my water cup?
Ugh. Look at those. Ugh. There's bugs in there.
It's like
Amoebas.
It's like
There's little
yeah.
sea monkeys.
Yeah, it's like
That's
sea
what those
monkeys.
are called, right?
Sea monkeys.
Blood Walrus. Chris, isn't your middle name Tomfoolery?
Actually, it is.
Yes.
How did he know that? Chris Tomfoolery. Mitsuchi.
Shamuchi. Yes, our our expert artist acrylics came out today, y'all. Check that link out if you haven't. Chris, have a sip? I won't do it.
Have a sip of what?
That paint water?
Oh, yeah,
Heck
you should.
no. What?
You should. I'm sure it would be good.
Heck no.
Heck no? Not just
I won't
no,
do
but-
it. Sea monkeys eat the paint off the brushes. That could be true.
Christopher, what if you were in a position
Uh-oh.
where your life was on the line and all you had to do to save yourself and the lives of all the people around you at this point was to drink that cup of water?
Are you okay? So, I would like to let the record show that when I ask these kinds of questions, I am dismissed with absolute dismay. Now, if you put me in a situation where
Who dismisses you, Chris?
the people,
Who dismisses you?
so many people, because I like these types of questions, like really thinking about it, right?
But see,
Some people are like,
there
Chris,
is-
you're so
okay,
silly.
Okay, so yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
most
no.
of the time when you're setting it up, it has no reasonable reality behind it. But I can imagine
What?
someone I can imagine someone actually walking up and saying, "Chris, if you don't drink this, you and your entire lineage are out." Can you focus me here?
Yeah. My entire lineage?
Everything, everyone you've known,
What?
everyone you've ever loved,
Okay.
gone, written off,
Hmm.
done. Dunzos, Chris, dunzos. All you gotta do is drink a cup of
I
paint
would
water.
do it. I would do it.
Yeah.
Hands down, of course.
I would too, 100%.
That's
It's not even really
That's
like
not
a
a hard
decision
one.
point, right?
That's not a hard one.
Yeah.
How many calories are in a brush load? A brush load of Procryl? False. We don't do that. I'm not going to give you any kind of numbers. Meat Treat asks, "Hey there, Monument Hobbies. I have a question about
Hey
the
there.
glaze and wash. Will this help not add a grainy texture to my model if I raw dog the paint?" Okay, you're talking about the glaze and wash, Meat Treat. Okay.
I don't understand what you mean raw dog.
Here we
paint.
go. I know I need to thin my paints, but sometimes I don't thin enough and get a bit of rough texture. Also, can't wait to get the new heavy body acrylics. Here's the question. I have a question about the glaze and wash. Will this help not add a grainy texture to my models if I raw dog the paint?
I would have to understand what your vision of grainy texture is. You know, the reality is that grainy texture comes from over thinning your paints, not under thinning. And either way, yes, the glaze and wash medium can help with that because it can provide you with a way to paint with a lower opacity paint that still moves like a paint straight out of the bottle. You'll notice if watching me for long, I paint with just the moisture on my brush. I don't use a wet palette. This is just a piece of glass. And I don't put any water on it, right? So I'm not thinning the paint itself on the palette. I'm just thinning on the brush. And sometimes I can leave a lot of water. Sometimes I don't have much at all.
Right.
You know, for base coats and things like what I'm doing now, it's just a little bit of water on the brush, just enough to get the paint flowing. And you'll notice like pop in super close.
Yeah.
Like you'll notice like on the shoulder plate there's no texture, right? Or on anything. None of these surfaces have texture other than this old white metal Inquisitor has got some areas where the metal itself, when it came out of the mold, was a little funky. You know, so there's a couple of edges and things that aren't really flat. They have a little bit of texture in the mold sculpt, or in the mold, not the sculpt. But other than that, you shouldn't have any issues.
Hopefully that answers your question there, Meat Treat. And yes, we are excited for you to try those expert acrylics. Here's the link to it. Meat Treat says, "Thank you, guys. That explains a lot. I use a wet palette too, so maybe I'm over thinning it."
Yeah, the wet palette acts as a dilution agent on its own. That's what a lot of people don't understand, is that wet palettes were not intended for liquid acrylics. They were meant for paste acrylics and watercolors. And really watercolors is what they were built for. which seems weird, but you can get paste watercolors and solid watercolors, and you need to have more water and controllability over those, or lack of controllability, I guess is really the way to say that, because you can't dictate how much water your wet palette puts into your paint, and that can cause you all sorts of problems. So a lot of people use them, and if you have a good way to use them, then I applaud you. Keep using them. I hate them. Like, unabashedly have no problem telling people that I'm like, I would never suggest using a wet palette for liquid acrylics. Unless you're doing a ton of mixing of color across an army. And even then you can get better results by just mixing up enough paint to put in its own bottle.
Yeah.
Get yourself a bottle and put the paint in a bottle. Mix yourself up enough of the color that you can put it out on your palette as normal.
Cool.
Yeah, the wet palette will already thin the paint, and then if you're adding more water onto your wet palette and such, and the problem with that is that the paint might feel good at first on the wet palette, and then the longer you let it sit there, the worse it can feel as more and more water intrudes into the mixture. So just got to be careful.
Swifter Bear and Thumb Palette, thank you so much for those subs. And Derpstick has a great question. With sap green being transparent, how difficult would it be to get full coverage with it? I want to use it as my primary color for the casings of my Marines bolters and chainsaw swords, or chain swords.
Just paint them with a color first. Paint a base coat color down on them first.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can paint the sap green over the top. You know, when it says it's transparent, it's, it's still going to have some opacity to it, but it just isn't going to get you like base over black primer green. You're going to need to either do a bunch of layers or paint with a darker green and then over the top of it with the sap green, and you'll be fine. Or paint with a lighter color and put the sap green over the top of it. Whatever floats your boat.
Meat Tree, thank you so much for that sub. Appreciate it. And he says, thank you guys so much. This is why you're all the GOAT. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
We love those questions. Ask away.
No, we're here to help. No matter what you're doing. There are, there's very few things that I consider to be kind of written in stone. That's the nice thing with art, is a lot of it is subjective to what you're painting, how you like it, So whereas I say I don't like a wet palette, if a wet palette works for you, continue using it. Don't ever stop doing what you're doing that makes you feel good about painting because you hear me or anybody say it. Always just take those things as references and ways to evaluate, add more to your toolbox. Why do I keep getting out of focus, Chris?
I don't know.
There you go. Like, I'm not. Is it not set to autofocus, is it?
No. Right. I haven't moved it at all.
It should have a bigger field of focus than this. It feels like as I move it around, it gets really. Now it's good. But I don't know why. Is there a button that you could be hitting that's changing it?
No. I did zoom the lens in a little bit when we were doing this model, but from where we were at our thing, but that shouldn't. I might have adjusted the aperture a touch to make it a little clearer, but not much. It shouldn't be doing that. Or it shouldn't be out of plane. So I might have to look at the aperture a little bit. It might be a little too open. Yes, Papa Chicken, they did launch today. Here is the link. Right here.
Available now.
So black green, then put sap green over it, says Derpstick. I've been mixing black green with the normal green to get a forest green and thought sap green would let me skip the mixing part.
Yeah. I would just test it out, right? You might be surprised and you might find that sap green can still work for you, but if you're painting over dark with transparent paints, I typically am going to tell you that you need to do some form of a base coat first. Now, like I said, you might find that a lighter green allows the sap green to have the intensity that you're looking for quicker, so you're not doing a bunch of layers. Remember, I'm always a fan of doing the setup correctly so you don't have to put a ton of layers of paint on.
Mm-hmm.
because the more layers of paint you have to do, the more risk you build up texture and desaturate color in some cases. So just be careful with that.
The generic asks, sorry if this has already been asked, but these one-off sets that can mix from, or are you planning on future pigments as well?
Yeah, the response has been tremendous to them already, and people don't even have them. So my answer is I have 8 more colors I'm looking at. So the line may move to 24 colors, but I won't take it beyond that unless something crazy happens, is my thought.
Daniel, I don't believe you're painting with the expert acrylics right now.
No, right now I'm just using standard Pro Acryl.
Soul Siege, this is an old Inquisitor model.
It's an Inquisitor with Terminator armor.
Yes. So Soul Siege, that's the model today. Any backstory? No, Jason and I were talking about painting up some old hammer, and we came, Kyle came through and showed us some old models, and here we are. And yes, Ray, he is using the Dauntless brushes right now. It's a, what number is it?
1, I think.
1?
I'm using? Yeah, I'm using a 1 right now.
Daniel's asking, what kind of tile palette would you recommend?
I haven't really done a lot of that. It was always just the silly, cheapest white tile out of Home Depot.
White tile, yeah.
Is what I've always gone with, and it's been that way. And most of that was from my days at GW, where we would buy that kind of white tile, and that would be what you'd get when you came to paint at the stores, right? So I haven't really messed beyond that.
Mm-hmm. Red Spartan says old hammer is, as in it's probably older than me. I don't know how old these models are, but they're pretty old.
Late 90s.
Late 90s.
They're probably 30 years old, I would think.
Sugar Rush
maybe
says,
not quite that old, because late 90s. They probably
late
high
90s?
20s.
Sugar Rush is asking, any chance of adding a zinc white, please? I really like the transparent white. I'd like to have it in a heavy body.
I mean, that's what transparent white is. I don't know that I'll do it. It's not one of the colors on my list to add.
Zinc white?
Yeah, zinc white is not. Because the titanium white works so well to get you down to transparency when dealing with something that has that much pigment in it, but not unheard of.
Right.
But right now, it's not in one of the 8 that I would add to the line if you were to ask me today what are the next 8 colors. And don't ask, I'm not going to tell you. Because I'm not ready to admit that we're doing those. I want to see how everybody responds to them.
Yeah.
I have to make the right business call for the company. But I'm very excited for them, as you guys have seen. We've done some painting with them.
Yep.
Everybody has been really pleased with the way that they've worked. We've got some artists who have them in their hands as of today already. So we'll continue to get feedback. I'm going to be over in Poland at Contrast, dealing with some of the world's top artists and letting them put their hands on them. Hopefully get some good feedback there.
Kyle says this is late 80s. Okay. Thank you for clarifying, Kyle. Jogo says, I tell you what, I used your Dauntless brush number 1, and it is very well made. Mind you have tried many other brands. Okay, you've tried other brands. Best bang for your buck. Highly recommend getting them. Nice. I'm glad you like them.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm I've been using them now for over a year
Oh gosh,
with
yeah.
the samples, and I have been pleasantly surprised
Uh-huh.
at what we were able to achieve with a low-cost solution. They aren't going to last as well, probably. It all depends on how you paint, right? So I can't make this statement, definitively, because you might be like, oh, 3 years from now, you might be on, I'm still on my first Dauntless set,
Yeah.
but, they weren't built to last forever. They're built to give people a really good, low-cost solution. And since we know that all brushes are, disposable, then we just want to make sure you get good life and heavy lifting out of them while they do last. And I'm super stoked on them. Use them every day.
Question. I'm going to be painting Lizard from Spider-Man. What's a good color for underpainting green?
Dark purple, dark blue are great. Other dark greens, obviously, like black green. Deep sea Ben or dark sea Ben is fantastic.
Ooh. Meaty Hook says, do you have a favorite 3 from the new line? Congratulations on the launch. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a favorite 3?
Or like we could do you don't like doing the favorites. That's a tough question, right? But
It's something I don't. I mean, these
what about
are
use cases?
Yeah, these are less about. These are very known quantity colors, right? When we're talking about the expert acrylics, it really is that these are colors that, if I were going to go paint a canvas, this is the type of paint you'd have. And there aren't like, there's not goblin butt green or anything, right? It's just is what it is. So when I look at it from that standpoint, obviously Payne's Gray is a favorite of mine. Very highly used color. All of the, the cyan, magenta, and yellow are fantastic. So I would put those up. The nickel azo yellow, I feel like, is one of those that is just, bar none, one of the best colors you'll use. It's just a great color. It rates up there in my list of colors that I like along the lines of, like yellow ochre and such.
Dusty Hobby says, you're saying goblin butt green is a gap in the market. You know what to do? We will not be.
I'm not saying that, actually.
James Hunt says, my wallet hates me right now, Jason. I like what I'm seeing with your new heavy body line.
Awesome.
Congrats.
Thank you. I'm stoked that everybody's digging it. Everybody's really been liking them.
I think Jason Fisher, Gabe's dad, has been painting canvases and such this weekend for fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, just testing them out.
Nice.
Painting some pictures with them.
Nice. He was excited. I saw a video with him, or a picture of him holding the paints up.
Nice.
Because Shannon got them for him as soon as they hit and took them home. So now officially the Fisher family all have the bug. Shannon's painting models. Shelby's painting models. Jason's painting canvas. And even Jesse.
He's just painting some models too.
Jesse's painting models. So it's pretty crazy. They've got it. The first hit is free worked.
I guess so.
Crazy Fisher family.
Sugar Rush says, well, if they're going to be taking over, they need to paint.
Fisher family hobbies. Just wait. You guys will be like, I remember when this was just Monument.
I remember those days. Jason and I were just young lads. Xenobond says, the family that paints together buys paint together. That's true. Oh, man.
But typically buy less of it because they do that thing sharing.
Ugh,
jeez.
Gross.
Despicable.
Ugh. They're all gathered around their little family fun table.
Please pass the pyro red.
Okay. I don't know about that one. Please pass the all jelly or whatever, the all jam or whatever it's called. That old commercial. What's sharing? That's right, Source.
We don't share here.
Alex W. P. I have not. I bought my set this weekend. I was going to, but I ended up not getting my models to a certain place. But I would like to use them. Maybe I'll use that. This is one of my favorite colors.
Boom.
You're having a great time up there. This is your last day without having a Denny's discount. Well, no, it's technically
No, it's not. Friday.
In my mind.
Actually, I don't get a Denny's discount until like the 9th or 10th of June when I get back.
What? Oh, that's true. You're not gonna go. You're not gonna go to Denny's while you're over there.
I think in Europe they expect you to live forever, so they don't give you discounts.
That's true.
I'm gonna go into every restaurant I go into in Europe and say, "I'm 50. I just turned 55. Can I have the senior menu?
Hey,
Do I get the senior discount?"
They do this for me in America. Could you make
So in the land of the free, they give us $1 off when you get to be old. I'm old now. Can I get $1 off? I'm just gonna be that guy.
Oh my gosh. Pardon me. Do you have any Payne's Gray? Oh, that's funny. Wad. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'll try. I might try them this week. This week with my paint smoke. I'm gonna do a bunch of underpainting. Some kind of, I don't know what to call it. Underpainting, like smudge brushing style with our DD3 on smoke.
Yeah.
And don't worry, y'all. Don't worry. Jordan will be producing Thursday and Friday, so your legit painting questions will be answered as well. I will have him here to help me, so don't you worry. The ship will be the one painting ? If you all remember my beautiful metaphor. It'll be an interesting day. We're all going to explore. That's my motto for our stream Thursday and Friday is we're going to put paint on the model and we're going to explore.
Chad, I need you to hold him accountable.
No, it's true. I'm very excited. We're going to I have never painted a model at this caliber ever. Right? So, we're going to figure it out together. And it's a big model, so I'll have to adjust. I'll have to figure out how to do that. We'll figure it out.
On the fly,
I
Chet.
can do it. I think I can like zoom it out a little bit so that you all can see it. I can't do, it's just a hard model to paint on a table. But we'll figure it out. You'll get the gist. You'll get the gist.
He's quite a big boy.
Jordan runs a tight ship. Yes, he does. Because it's this ship. Watt says, what about my illegit questions? Of course, we'll answer those too. I'm the best at answering those questions. I'm like the king of asking those questions. Come on. Oh, great. Meaty Hook says, I caught FOMO and ordered some of the new line. Nice. Meaty Hook, you're going to love it. I want to get my orcs to a certain level of underpainting and then use some of the glazing techniques Jason talked about last week on the orc skin using the greens and coming up with a mixture. I might end up using what you used last week on it, on that the Wraith.
Oh, for the armor?
I think so, because I loved that green.
Yeah.
Right? And I thought the green came out great. And I thought over orc skin, using some of your face painting techniques, right?
Yeah.
I thought that would be a really good workup. Paint liquor. I have a legitimate painting question, Monument Hobbies. Perfect. When is a train going to be painted on stream to go with that whistle? Paint liquor, yes, I see how you fooled me. I think that is a legitimate painting question, so I'll give you a legit answer. I don't know when a model train will ever be painted live on this stream. Never say never, but I'm just saying don't get your hopes up.
Paint a box car with graffiti on it.
Okay,
as
now we've totally...
As a lesson in weathering and freehand and fun stuff.
I changed my mind entirely. That sounds like a great idea. I take back exactly what I said. Kyle Kinghord, I won't answer that question, you silly man.
What did he say?
Kyle says, do. What about questions from Bobby Jackets? He was making a joke earlier today and thought he was a funny man, and I laughed at his jokes. I said I knew a guy named Jim Coates, and he's like, oh, kind of like Bobby Jackets. And I can't believe I fed the beast that way.
I'm at a loss.
Twisty Farmer, this might be a silly question.
Never.
But how do you finish a model? I like the matte colors from Pro Acryl. Is the paint durable enough to just say that they're good, or do they need to be sealed?
I guess, so I will tell you, I don't ever seal my models. That's just, I don't handle them a whole lot, and I'm careful with them. If you throw them around in your, whatever pack you carry them in and stuff like that, if you're a little rougher with them, then a good coat of like our matte varnish, the spray, right? Because it's an acetone based. It's believe it or not, our sprays are based off the same principal technology that's used for road marking paint, right? Is where you find acetone paint mainly. So, it's heavy duty. It's built to last. So you could put a coat of the matte on there, and that matte is, as good as the matte finish of our paint. So you don't lose anything by doing so. And I think that's the big catch, is that you don't want to lose any of that matte finish.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm doing this super old school where these were painted like scroll and bone,
I like it,
as
though.
opposed to like they should be metal. Like I can't imagine a scroll actually hanging on his shoulder like that, or this being bone, but that's the way I'm doing it. So
But it could be painted that way.
this is the way I used to paint them. So this is what we're doing. This is how it works.
That could be painted that way, though.
And I'm going to show you how on the, I'm going to show you how on the leather scabbard for the dagger here too, that we can do the same thing workup wise. So all these same colors that you've seen me use for the bone / parchment are being used down here too. And really the goal there is to show you that, I'll go back over it with something transparent, transparent brown or something like that, to turn the sheath a different color for the scabbard. A different color, but showing you that you don't have to, like if glazing and filtering, then you can paint all of your browns in this case the same way, and then use filtering to adjust them how you need to.
Chuck says, congratulations on another successful product release. Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck. Couldn't do it without you guys. I blame chat and all the miraculous customers that are just crazy enough to like what we do. Thank you for being crazy like us. Means the world. All right, so I did a little bit of texturing for the leather there. Nothing too crazy, but
because you like to do a filter over that leather stuff, like with transparent browns and such.
Yeah, and so you'll need to make the highlight brighter than you really want it, so that when you put the filter on and it darkens that highlight down, that you get something, that you can still see texture and lining and all that. So if you punch in close, you'll see that I've just done a little bit of stippling.
Oh,
A little bit of angular, like, creases in the leather and whatever, and so you can just kind of bang the brush around on it to get some texture. And we're using the brighter color so that when we put the transparent over the top, it'll survive.
Derp 6 says, one more question about sap green. How different is it from transparent green in terms of tone? Is it less of a jade color? That's what the transparent green looks like to me.
It's a little less blue. Yeah. More of a true green. Like a hunter's green almost. It's not hunter's green, but you get my drift. All right, now some ivory.
D Fresh, is this model missing his lower mandible, or is it a little beard? It's a little beard, not painted. It's a little goatee.
He's got a beard. I'll paint his hair. Ebony and ivory.
Jason, are you excited for your
your
birthday tomorrow?
in perfect harmony.
I'll take that as a yes.
Side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord. What was the question?
It doesn't even matter anymore.
Okay, good.
I was saying, are you excited
Always.
for your birthday tomorrow?
No.
Tomorrow's your actual
Tomorrow
birthday.
is not my birthday. My birthday is Friday. I will be in Poland with a bunch of people that don't know it's my birthday, so I'm very excited about it.
And they'll go, oh, it's your birthday.
They better not any of them know. I don't care about my birthday. I never make a stink about
Jason.
it. I never make a stink about it.
Can I raise my hand?
Yes.
I'm a big birthday guy. I like celebrating people.
Who knew?
Okay? I like celebrating people because people need to be celebrated for who they are. And I think birthdays
I like being
are a
celebrated
way.
for things I've done.
Yes, you were alive. You were entered. You entered
so
the
you
world.
need to call my mom.
Hey, mama, me, bella mama.
Call my mom and celebrate my mom for bringing me into this world.
Of course.
She did a great job to turn me into the human I am now. No, I just never really care about my birthday. There's a lot of days where I wake up on my birthday, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's my birthday. Like, I won't even remember. I will because
Jason.
it's like I'm traveling, so there's a lot going on during it, but yeah, I don't really
Jason,
care.
we are going to make sure you are known.
Oh,
maybe. I don't know. Who knows what's going to
joy.
happen? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hey, on using your expert acrylics with Pro Acryl paints, what kind of expectations would you be getting or be looking for?
What kind of expectations?
Like maybe you're asking here, expert acrylics with Pro Acryl paints. Okay, so
like with your normal Pro
yeah,
Acryl paints?
what can
We've
we
been showing
expect?
that off. Last week, I showed off on doing this model how I went in and I base coated all of my colors with normal Pro Acryl.
Looks so good.
And then we go in and use the expert acrylics for the amazing ability that type of paint has for glazing, layering, filtering. Because all of the filters that I put on here, you got in one coat, right? Because you get so much more pigment load in a paste acrylic when done right, like ours. And so every brush stroke is super meaningful. Whereas with a liquid acrylic where it's already diluted, even with Pro Acryl, right, you still are going to do 2-3 coats when glazing to get the vibrancy back. And with this, it's like one. And so as you start using them together, and then I move back with the highlights into Pro Acryl because I want opacity. And again, my whole goal is to be a lazy painter. I want every brushstroke to be meaningful is the way I say that. So that every time I touch the model, I get a lot of impact from that brushstroke. I don't want to glaze 15 times. It's irrelevant. It's useless. It's a waste of time. It shows you're not using good paint or you're not using good technique. You should be able to get more color quicker. You can still get it very smooth. You don't have to glaze in 15 layers to get smooth blends. You can still get ultra smooth blends in fewer layers if the paint itself carries enough pigmentation and has a controllable opacity. And that's what these bring for you, is just another heightened level of that. So you can work with Pro Acryl and those seamlessly, mix them together, switch from one to the other. They work perfectly because Pro Acryl is really just this same exact artist paint. It's just in a liquid form. We've pre-diluted it for you. I hate using the word dilution because that's technically what it is, but it makes it seem like you're losing something. That's the thing that sets Pro Acryl apart, is it has so much pigmentation in it while still being a liquid paint and feeling lightweight. Other people that put a lot of pigment in their paint have to use thicker mediums because they just can't hold that much pigment. And Pro Acryl doesn't. It still is a lower viscosity, feels like more, it comes off the brush easier, paints lays flatter, doesn't leave you any texture. So the paste acrylics will do the same thing with a little bit of water in them. You can turn them into basically Pro Acryl.
Yeah.
They just give you a head start because you can get, I keep calling it to the source, right? It's like going to the headwaters.
It's like, what did you say this morning? We were talking about a little bit, like the father or the dad or the mom, or
it's where Pro Acryl comes from. This is the sire of Pro Acryl, right? Because this is the paint before we turn it into a liquid. Is really what it is.
Yeah. It's great stuff. Alexander, you just sold me on it, Jason. Hopefully that helped, Alexander. That's definitely what. And then there's that link too. Oh, I just posted it. There you go. Philip says, "Gene, father of Pro Acryl." Yep. T. Schmidt asks a great question. What kind of shelf life would you expect from the new tubes? I'm recognizing that I don't go through my paints very quickly.
Very good. I mean, they seal, so. But like any paint, once you've opened it, you have started a clock with water-based paints because you're trying to make sure that they are stored properly, if they go too many summers and winters, temperature changes, all that kind of stuff, then eventually you're going to wind up opening them up and they're not going to be usable. But because the paste has less water content affecting the way it performs, you can get away with it sitting for quite a bit longer.
Lumberjack Tim says they were asking about mixing on the palette.
Who was?
Let me go back up. I think if you're talking about Cho's question on using expert acrylics, what kind of expectations would you be getting or be looking for? Oh, okay. I guess going back to that, right? Yeah, I need more clarification because I didn't see that, Lumberjack. I don't think they were asking about mixing on the palette. But he also just described you can essentially, they're mixable with our normal paint line, right, Jason? That's 100%. What you were just saying.
100%. You can mix and match as you like. They will work perfectly right alongside all your other acrylics.
Legion says, did I miss the steps on how to use it for hobby purposes? Are you talking about the expert acrylics, Legion? I'm assuming that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The way we did the Wraith's Queen that I was just discussing is that we take a look at it and say, okay, I'll use Pro-Acryl liquids because of the opacity, right? We build all the mainline Pro-Acryl paints to be opaque so that they cover the model, right? Makes sense. These expert acrylics are various levels of opacity, most of them in the semi-opaque and transparent range, because that's the way those pigments act, right? And so as we are using them, you want to use that to the best of your ability. So if you have a paint that, see, it's out of focus now when it sits on the table, and it was in focus before. It's very strange.
I think when I was adjusting my zoom a little bit, I got it out a little bit. But when you bring it up, it's in focus.
So the right answer is use them how you like the way they work. And this is I always call it tough love answer. That's not the right way to call it, right? Because it's not tough love, but it really is, because when you're talking about tools used for creative output, it's all about what you like when you use the tool, right? So it's not like tools for building houses where I use the table saw to cut, big sheets of wood. I can't use the hammer to cut big sheets of wood. Well, maybe somebody can. Now that I've said that, somebody will prove me wrong. Go watch my YouTube video, right? Whereas with paint, it's really that you have this color that you want, this color with this vibrancy, this opacity, this fluidity, whatever it is that you can use. If you see somebody using it in an odd way but getting great results, then it may not have been made for that, but it can do that. And so paste acrylics, when you look at them, the base pigment, without any opacifiers added to it, is typically more of a transparent or semi-opaque realm. Carbon black, titanium dioxide with titanium white, the pyrrole orange, pyrrole red, these colors are typically more opaque. They say that on the tube. So if you look at all of them, and on the website, you'll be able to navigate this too, because all really good fine art acrylics will tell you, right? So we have on the back side of each tube, you'll see the pigment series number. The finish on all of them is flat and matte, right? And then the opacity, right? So this T is transparent. The light fastness on them is all good or excellent, which in the case of paints means that they're all UV. They will sustain long-term UV exposure and maintain their color. Okay, that's what light fastness is. And so when you look at them like this, the dioxazine violet is a transparent paint straight out of the tube. So use it for that power that it gives you. So this is a great tool for filtering, layering, getting color on the model quickly because of the intensity of pigment in it, but it's not going to be an opaque one coat coverage. This is going to act more like you would expect from a yellow, right? Or a greenish yellow, something that it's going to take you a couple of passes to get the true opacity if you're trying to cover an area, right? And so, but what you're going to do is be able to do whatever it is that you're looking to hunt for instantaneously. because with one pass, assuming you know how to dilute, then a little bit of water on your brush and you'll get that instantaneously. Like I said with this sculpt, when we did if you go back and watch the VOD, because it's hard to dictate to you before we added the mix of the yellow and the green, right, on here. But this looked like Sky Earth non-metallic metal. It was blue and white, or blue, white, and green. It looked like chrome, the way I had painted it. But my goal was to shift it into this kind of greenish steel feeling color. And so I knew that by doing the blue and the green and the whites on there, that when I glazed it with the yellow green, it would give me what I wanted. And I only had to do one coat to get all of this coloration on there, right? And all of that color. I mean, look at the way the shoulder works as it goes through all of that staging of color that we put on there. And that was all just one coat of glaze. I couldn't have done that with a liquid acrylic. A liquid acrylic would have been too opaque to do it in one coat. And so you would do 2, 3, 4 coats in order to get the intensity that you want and hold that vibrancy. Whereas with these colors, you can maintain vibrancy through fewer coats and still be able to see through it. So you can do those kinds of filters, layering, glazing that you like. So they're just another tool. It's not that you can't do what these paints provide with our normal line, right? These just give you another way to achieve that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, where's it?
I'm adding the paints to my cart, and I'm torn between sepia and burnt umber expert acrylics, says Danger.
They're different colors, so depending on what you're trying to do, with these colors, they literally are all, if you like them, you will want all of them colors.
If you like the consistency.
That's why I chose these 16. These 16 are, in my opinion, the colors I would recommend to start painting with. If you told me, hey, I wanted to start painting canvases, I'd be like, here you go. This is the starter set for professional acrylics. What do you want? That's why they're put together this way. Are there some colors I would like to see on there too? Sure, but we have a lot of those, like phthalo blue, phthalo green, or transparent blue and green in the transparent set. So, you're already getting some of the other colors that I would put on there and may put on there in the future. So, eventually, I think once you test them out,
you'll like them all.
You'll like them all.
Well, and there's so many different use cases for them too. Yeah, that's right, Danger, or not Danger. That was so when using your expert acrylics, I should be able to reproduce Picasso type paintings. Yeah, that's right.
100% immediately.
Magic. You don't even have to do anything. It'll just magically come out of the tube and then go straight onto your canvas, palette, whatever, any surface you put
with a
it
size 0 brush.
He wants hot pink in the starter set. Well,
no.
I
gave it to you. Magenta and more yellow.
That's right. And then also, where's that question? Here it is. Roaring Oblivion asks, so single pigment paints mean low or no opacity?
It depends on the pigment, right? That's not a thing that is answerable. Most of the time, more transparent. Across the board, most pigments, by their very nature, are more transparent.
Yeah.
But like I said, you have titanium dioxide that is titanium white. You have carbon black. You have these particular pigments that are opaque naturally.
Lumberjack Tim says, plaid heavy body when?
I gave you the starter set.
I wish we could.
This is the starter set for plaid heavy body.
I mean, it is.
Quit asking.
That's what it is.
This is the do-it-yourself kit.
This is the do-it-yourself kit.
We took plaid, deconstructed it, and sold you the 16 colors that it takes to make it. How about them apples?
Paint liquor. Hey, we don't hate you. Stop hating me, Jason. Jason doesn't hate you.
What did I do?
Not giving a hot pink starter set.
Oh no, it's totally because I hate him.
Lumberjack Tim says, we need a demo.
We need a demo.
We
Bastard. Turning my story against me, you bastard.
We need a demo.
No.
He's looking good.
You're not the boss of me.
This guy's looking great.
You're not the boss of me.
This has definitely got me looking at a bunch of old Hammer stuff online.
They're fun models, right? They really are.
They're just different. Agrippa, don't eat the paint. So there you go. I answered your question with a comment, and that was the comment. So how do the heavy bodies differ from the regular pro acrylic paints when it comes to taste? False. I'm not going to even enlighten you with the potentials of, well, technically they would
You punch me
taste
in one.
they would taste the same, but they're not going to taste the same because you're not going to eat them ever in your entire life. So there you go.
Let's glaze with some real quick.
Oh.
Somebody was asking about sepia or burnt umber. Let's grab some sepia real quick.
Okay.
Sepia has a neat greenishness to it.
Mhm.
It's two pigments, right? One of them is green. Large doses of green.
I'm going to go to your palette. There you go.
Right.
Show them how it looks coming off
I'm just
the
gonna
palette.
glaze. I'm just gonna glaze this this dagger scabbard
Oh, okay.
real quick. So I'm just gonna pull a little bit out. And again, just the water on my brush. Brush a little water. Pull a tail off of the dollop of paint the same way I would always.
Yep.
Right. No difference in the way I treat the paint. I still don't go in and spread the whole paint dollop around. And then you can see, like on my thumb here, how this is going to in one pass. Look at all that color I'm getting.
Yeah.
And that's with 2 full brush loads of water in it. So that pigmentation you just won't get out of a normal paint.
2 full brush loads.
Now 3. Well, I wiped on the paper towel there one time. Right. And so now I can go through and instantly get that glaze to sit in there. And the pigment load, you can just see the intensity it has.
Yeah.
And as long as the coloring is the way you want it, one pass does it. So, imagine doing your army and painting all of the leather boots on your squads and leather pouches and everything with burnt umber or with dark umber, light umber,
Yeah.
olive flesh, something like that, or the bone workup that I just did. And then you take a glaze of sepia over the top, and now that scabbard is a totally different color than the bone and parchment on the shoulder. Right? In one pass.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
pop in real close. You can see very consistent. Lays super flat. Didn't, it still filters and shows all my texture I put on the leather there. So it works right. And, just super quick. Easy to do. We're not doing anything super tricksy on this model. Just putting paint on it.
What are you doing, Jason?
Just putting paint on the model, Chris. I'm just putting paint on the model.
That's right.
I know.
Blu-ray. I was
crazy.
driving home from work and listening along. So I asked when it was relevant, but did they increase the retirement age while reducing the senior citizen age? 55 seems low.
Damn.
That's what I was saying. Right?
Damn.
55's not old. Come on.
Damn.
Come on now. 55 not old. Seasoned.
Hey, I want my dollar off, so you guys need to shut up.
He's seasoned. There you go.
I
Aged
need
like a
you guys
fine
to
wine.
Shut up, because I want my dollar off at Denny's. So if they raise the ages for all of this, then first off, restaurants will be like, "Whoop, sorry,
Whoop.
you're not a senior yet." AARP will stop calling, and God, I love talking
no.
to those people.
Oh boy.
I don't answer the phone.
Cole Tanner says, "What would you use to mix up a sepia wash without a heavy body sepia?" A sepia wash.
We don't have the right greens, but you would take something akin to like dark camo green and yellow ochre-ish, maybe dark orange brown, and you get close.
You get close.
That's the color range you're looking for, though.
D Fresh says 55, you're just starting. That's what I'm saying, man.
Young pup. Just a young pup. I don't feel like Denny's should give me a dollar off, but I'm not going to tell them that.
You don't feel like they should?
No, but I'm not going to tell them that. Oh my God, I went back and got the bone color on that little skull on the carapace here and then forgot all about it and didn't finish it.
Oh, I didn't even realize that was
Thanks, Chris. Jeez.
Wait, what is that?
I rely on you, Chris. And
Don't
you let me down.
Don't rely on me, Jason, because
I'm learning
I'm just
this.
letting you down. D Fresh says brown transparent and a transparent yellow for sepia? Question mark.
Could definitely do it. It may not be green enough. That's going to give you a very warm color. It's going to be very orangish, which sepia is not. Sepia is a green.
So that little skull you missed, what is that? What?
It's a little skull.
Of what? Like a little muskrat or
Yes.
a muskrat skull?
I'm going to say yes, because I want that to be true.
I mean,
I want
I
the
don't know what else
Inquisitor
to...
to have had a muskrat pet
A muskrat? I'm trying to see.
that was like his childhood pet that he still carries around with him that, the Inquisition hates. It's his little middle finger to the Inquisition.
His middle finger Inquisition.
He's one of those not quite heretical.
Okay.
He hasn't gone super far off the deep end yet, but he's close.
Okay.
And one of his little ways to give the middle finger back to the Inquisition is to have that muskrat skull. They don't want you to have anything from your childhood that might, interfere with the way you think of your pursuing your job.
That's deep, Jason.
And he's over here, like has this little buddy of his.
Danger says, just placed my order. Thank you, guys. Y'all rock. Danger?
You rock. What are you talking about?
I'm happy for you. We're happy that you're happy.
Thank you so much. All right, well, my paint for all those other colors is dried up. Now I got to go back and remember what I did.
I feel like that Inquisitor might want to tuck their head back into their armor a little. Seems exposed.
It's so bad.
I don't know.
It's so bad.
All right.
So bad, these sculpts, but they're great. They're great fun, but they're horrible. Not gonna lie, they're horrible.
Mo says maybe it's a cyber rat. Could be. Why? I don't know about that one.
Cyber rat?
Cyber rat?
I don't even know what it is. It's not even a skull shape, technically. It's a circle with two little dots in it.
Oh, Roaring Oblivion asks a question. Have you diluted the artist series and zipped it through an airbrush in practice? ?
Do not do that. Use the normal paints.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, could you? Sure. There are people out there that turn artist-grade acrylics into airbrush paints, but by the time you spend all that
time and effort, you might as well
realize
have just
that
used
Pro Acryl is that already done for you. Our normal paint is very high-end artist acrylic made fluid, and it's already meant to do that, and it takes a lot to get that to happen. So I wouldn't waste my time on it. There's no colors there that you can't really get out of the main set except for like Nicolazzo, the dioxazine violet.
Yeah, you are doing the little skull. I see what you're doing there. Nice job, Jason.
I had to catch it.
North Rex says this guy was like S tier for his time too. Yeah. I could see that. Boo Ray says maybe get a haircut so you can fit your head in there. Maybe that's what he needs is a haircut.
It's like so wonky. I mean, let's not. The other day we were talking, and it was the first time Chris ever realized that the old Space Marines don't have abdomens.
Yeah, they don't.
They go from the pectoral muscles right below the neckline to the crotch. There's no space for a belly button or all the guts.
Otherwise, his head is massive.
Yeah.
And just...
Well, this doesn't work even if the head was made smaller,
yeah,
because then the legs would be, and the arms would be way out of scope. So the legs and arms, other than the fact that they're way out of scale all the time, it's that all the old Space Marines never had an abdomen.
Yeah.
It's like that guy, it was like a 5 o'clock on a Friday.
5 o'clock?
And he was like, just get the sculpt done. The anatomy's always been horrible, and I don't know why. It would not have cost them too much more to make the models just a little bit taller. Maybe they made them and did the cost analysis for the spun metal, and at the end of the day, they were like, "No, we got to make them.
We saved $20 a month.
Yeah, we saved like $20 a spin by cutting the guts out."
DM Pond says, "Is there any chance we'll get a primer medium so we can mix up our own primers?"
No, because the primer medium is a polyurethane, acrylic polyurethane base, which is different than the normal paints. And so if you were to mix the normal paint in with a polyurethane medium, you'd get a color, but it would dilute the polyurethane, and you wouldn't be able to get a good primer that way. The primer needs to be its own concoction through and through. And that's just not easy to do. I mean, you can already take the white primer and mix whatever color you want into it to get your own colors. They're going to be more vibrant, but you can do that. You can mix any of the colors together and get your own primer colors. But by putting in a non-polyurethane paint, you're diluting the ability for the adhesion in the primer to be as secure as you really want it. And our paints are already a light poly because we don't want you to have to gum up the airbrush too bad. We want you to be able to clean it out very easily. They're strong once you get top coat on them, but you know they're not built like heavy solvent spray paints and stuff.
Kevin, where he was just using a little bit of the new paints, but if you go back last week and look at our essentially May 7th, or no, not May 7th.
We don't need no stinking abdomens.
All last week and the week before. Check him out.
Yeah, just look where his shoulders are in the plane of your shoulders are in line with your neck if you take a top view of you, like just behind the center line of your neck because of the way your rib cage cavity goes with the clavicles and everything pulls back a little bit.
The shoulders are
because the shape of the spine is that S, right?
Yeah.
So your shoulders are a little bit further back than your neck goes forward. Your shoulders go back when standing at right posture. This guy's shoulders are so far behind his neckline, they're like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not, don't mix your reality in with my fantasy. Don't make my Space Marines feel like they're anatomically incorrect, but good God.
I mean, hey, it's all about the...
Well,
it's character.
Here's the deal, right? Why then did they just say, okay, you can have guts now?
Ah.
You can have the spot where your stuff goes. And the anatomy works, and everything feels good now, and we'll call it Primaris, and all of your old Marines are useless. This guy's actually in scale now with the Primaris.
Huh.
So.
This is just our excuse to get Jason to do a green base.
Yeah, exactly, Derp. That's exactly what I just said.
A green base tutorial.
Severe gamer posture. Yeah, it is. It's like hunched over their computer desk.
They raised the price.
They needed something they could trademark, Tim. So Primaris they could trademark. They couldn't trademark Space Marine.
Really?
That's why they renamed everything.
Why?
That's why Age of Sigmar. That's why all the 40K stuff got renamed. Yeah.
Why couldn't they do that?
Yeah, because it's no longer Imperial Guard. It's Astra Militarum, Adeptus Mechanicum.
Did somebody take the rights to that? How does that?
No, they just went through a big IP thing that one of the calls for. And they're a publicly traded company, so they need to be able to protect their IP. So the things they couldn't protect, they needed to find a way to protect.
Oh,
so
they just changed
a lot of those things got name reworked so that they could have protected IP. Yeah, old names weren't defensible. Exactly.
Space
Did you hear this?
Marine
I don't want to get too much into it. A buddy of mine, Phil, Phil, who runs a channel called No Guts, No Galaxy. I used to stream with him for MechWarrior Online. With that, they had the No Guts, No Galaxy team that was sponsored by Piranha Games. That was the people that made MechWarrior Online. And so we all streamed on that platform and got all the free mechs. My whole mech collection was free because I was a streamer. And
that's cool.
I have up to a date I have everything, right?
Nice.
And that was always fun, but it was always a good time. Well, Games Workshop just sued him.
What?
He got caught in some big freaking lawsuit where they sued everybody, and they sued all of these. Well, they sued him in particular because he had something on his website that was a refrigerator sticker that said Warhammer on it, but it's the BattleTech Warhammer, the mech.
Oh.
And then he got sued.
Huh.
They dumped him from the lawsuit, but he had a lawyer up. He had to pay a lawyer thousands of dollars to get them to take him off the lawsuit.
Really?
It's horrible.
That seems weird.
Horrible. I hate hearing stuff like that. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's weird.
All right, I have some bone out here now. I'm gonna mix that in with our gray color for the hair, maybe. That's not bad. It's not horrible. Yeah, there's only a couple of states in the union that allow this type of lawsuit. One of them is Florida. So they brought the thing in Florida where they just don't even have offices.
Florida.
Yeah. Florida. Like Games Workshop doesn't even have offices. They have stores, but they don't have anybody in Florida. What are they suing people out of Florida for? It just shows how uncanny, horrible that whole thing was.
That's a bummer. Jason, are you getting excited for your trip?
Actually, yeah, I think I am getting a little excited.
That'll be really fun.
not like I don't. It's funny, and I don't mean to be like an old blowhard. I don't get overly excited for travel anymore. I've traveled so much in my life.
Yeah, you've said that before.
And for me, I really like being at home.
Yeah.
I like coming to work and then going home and being with the dogs and Jen and
you have a
just
system,
relaxing.
a good system, yeah.
This is cool because contrast and obviously France.
Yeah.
It's new business. It's fun.
It's business.
Being over at Contrast is going to be great because I get to meet a lot of the people who I've never met, but I've had conversations with because they've tried our paints and really liked them. So it's a really cool new page for Monument Hobbies going over there, and I'm excited for that part. Yes.
Yeah. The travel, not so much the excitement of the big new opportunity that we're going to be going with.
For those of you who may not know, out in Chatland, we are opening up Monument EU. We have employees. We have 2 lovely employees over there, Mally and Allie. And we are going to be able to service our European customers direct from France.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. I'm super stoked.
What a big new thing. Yeah. It's just the beginning.
Yeah, a lot of fun. And for that reason, I'm excited to go over there because Mally and Allie will be with me the whole time. They'll be at Contrast, both of them. And then right after Contrast, we go back to France.
Rymir's asking, why did you choose the location that you did? I'm assuming you're talking about for Monument EU, Rymir.
Right now, because that's where Mally and Allie live.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted to do was create an environment with people that we were, already considered to be great friends, so we could build this slowly. Will we stay there? That's to be determined. We're going to look and see how growth goes. With our ability to market in the EU directly will be huge. People's ability to buy directly from the Monument website will be huge. So I think that there will be a lot to learn, of course, in this first year or year and a half. We're going to look at it, how it goes through the beginning of 2027. And then really evaluate what we need to do to, continue growing it, assuming that it does well, which I'm pretty sure it will. We have a very fervent base of followers in Europe who have a very hard time getting product. And so we feel as if we've never really seen the overall potential rise to where it should be. And we'll keep looking at that. So I'm excited.
Ghost who's asking, do you have any plans on releasing any type of rack for the heavy body acrylics, or is there a type of rack you recommend to store them? I'm hyped to try these out.
Throw them in a drawer.
Pick them up and set them up with the new Dauntless. Nice.
Throw them in a drawer. I'm sure that the Etsy crew will come out with some pegs to put on pegboard and such.
I looked up a couple solutions.
Yeah.
You could do a pegboard.
There's storage racks for artist paints. Ours just have a different lid. We will obviously have a retail display for them, but we're not planning on any storage solutions for consumers. We stopped doing that a long time ago.
Joe's asking, will you be hiring a Chris-like individual in EU? There's no equivalent. We've looked all around the world.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
At some point, I'm sure you'd have to grow it to the extent of that's not out of the realm of possibility, right?
Good, yeah.
I mean, if you really think about the big, 5-10 year plan of that, who knows?
Yeah, we'll be handling, Chris and his team and the marketing group here will be handling all of it from HQ.
Yeah.
At the beginning. And then we'll take a look at, what we'll probably continue to add marketing personnel here. We're really hoping that it's just sales and fulfillment in EU. We're not trying to hire marketers. I don't think we'll have an EU stream anytime soon.
We've talked about figuring out with Mally of getting him like we did with Dallas though.
On here, yeah.
We could adjust our times and vice versa.
Yeah, it's a little different because the voice of the company is Jen and mine's voice, and so we are finding the way to have more and more people get integrated into that voice. Chris, the marketing team, everybody that's here. So as we go, then yeah, never say never.
Who knows? That's far down the road.
Maybe we'll be telling you on stream. Send your application into Monument EU soon.
Yeah,
Who
dude.
knows?
I mean, who knows? That's always the goal. The goal is growing.
Got a lot we got to do. We want to do it right. Make sure we take care of the customers over there correctly. Make them happy to work with us. Make it feel like it's a win all the way around. Work with our partners over there. We've had really good distributors to date. We're going to keep them happy as we go through this. Be some growing pains, I'm sure. Our plan is to do the same thing in Canada. So those of you that are in Canada, keep your ears open on that front.
Oh yeah,
as
we
well.
we got a lot going on. Spasma says mine is hiring a Jason lookalike that speaks French.
God knows I am not learning French.
Orky Fish says I already got a rejection from Gabe. Orky.
I know that's not true because Gabe never sends rejection letters. He just ghosts people.
Monument World Domination has entered stage 3. That's right, Gosu. Taking over.
Gabe's on a plane right now. Gabe's on his way to London. Going over to England for UK Games Expo. So Gabe, if you're over in the UK or going to UK Games Expo this next weekend, stop by the Element booth. We have a booth within a booth at Element Games. He will have the new paints with him to show off.
I like that hair choice you've done here.
I just worked with some dirty browns and then into the gray at the end is the goal.
I like the gray. Boothception, that's right, Papa Chicken. Dusty Hobbies is going to be there. Nice. Say hi to Gabe. Or don't.
Go by and tell him Chris is done.
Oh, yeah. Tell him that. Yeah, for sure. Tell him I'm out of here. This is it for me. Chris, any weird in jokes I can drop to freak him out? Weird in jokes. Let me think about that, Dusty Hobbies. No. I don't know. Let me think about that, Dusty Hobbies, because this is my opportunity now, alongside your opportunity to get Gabe a little frazzled. No, I can't think of one right now, Dusty Hobbies. But you wait. I'll think of something.
You should just walk up real quick and be like, "Hey, I can't stay long. Did you hear what happened at HQ?"
Yeah, you can just be very straight up
and just split. Oh, you gotta call home.
Did you see what happened on stream?
Did you see what happened between Chris and Jason on stream?
Dusty Hobbies will tag team troll him, Chris. I troll Gabe all the time.
He really does. They troll each other. It's pretty good.
Horrible.
It's only horrible when you think of the fact that you guys say you like each other so much.
He's okay. I've never said that publicly.
You just did.
He's a good guy. Kind of. I don't want that in writing.
This is verbal, Chris.
What?
Yeah, that was your outside voice.
He's okay. What?
That was your outside voice.
Speaking of outside voices, welcome in, everybody. If you are just now tuning in, welcome. Where have you been? We are so excited that you've chosen Monument Hobbies for your viewing pleasure today. This is Jason HBDC Craze, his final days of the non-discounted Denny's life. And today we're painting up some Old Hammer. And then Jason's going to leave. He'll abandon his post, and he will leave it to us young men and women to take up the mantle. Only for a week, though. So be prepared.
That sounded pretty.
Do you like that? I was
terminal there, Chris. It was
like,
real. Okay, it's over for this guy.
It's done. He's done.
It's over for this guy.
He will join the Denny's occult, and he will dissolve into the walls of a Denny's, and the rest is history.
Is that how that works?
I think so. So I wouldn't go into a Denny's if I was you, Jason. Can't wait to say hi to Gabe. Yeah, go say hi to him. He's okay.
I guess.
He'll have you like, oh, I'm Gabe. Do-do-ba-do-ba-do.
You know how Chris appends that to everybody as if that's the way
you
people talk around here? That's not how anybody around here talks.
Every single person in this company says a do-do-do-do-do. Every single
Except
day.
for none of them.
And then Jordan goes, to be fair.
Okay.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Also, correct. Except he doesn't follow it up with the do.
Jason doesn't say that. Well, Jason does do the dudes.
No.
No.
What are you talking about? It's not how that works.
Flooding the chat Discord thread to mess with Gabe. Tech Elf, no. No, Philip. Jason says beep boop. Jason, do you say beep boop?
Never.
Jason's a beep booper. Jason also does the deets. That's right, Papa Chicken. We don't say deets without doots. And it's doots and deets. Not right, Jason. All right, I'm sorry. I've gone off track. I am so sorry. You're gonna miss us, Jason, aren't you?
Not at all.
Oh, what?
Not even a little bit.
What are you talking about? You're gonna be so like, oh my gosh, I wish I was there.
I'll be sitting in Poland with Michael Pazarski talking paint, and then I will just start crying out of nowhere.
You might.
And I will say to myself, I just miss home.
You might.
And other stories we tell ourselves.
Orky Fish says Monument Reality TV. Yeah, it's coming.
I'm going to miss Jen and the girls. That's what I'm going to miss.
Oh. Did you see that, chat? He just buried us alive.
I didn't. I'll be back.
He's just going to miss Jen and the
He'll
girls?
miss chat, maybe not Chris. Correct.
That's true.
I didn't want to say that out loud, though, because now Chris feels sectioned out.
No, here's the thing. Jason does need a break from
Orky says, is this a painting show? I've been painting.
He's been painting. Hey, Orky Fish.
What are you talking about?
Gosu, just order the heavy bodies. Let's go. Nice. Hey, you know what? I'll say this about Jason. Okay? He's okay. He's an all right guy. Right? He'll paint, you know. He'll do his thing. That's all good. Right?
Dusty Hobbies. If there's enough of you going, you should line out with Gabe to like go and do like a
pictures,
a pub meetup or something.
Take pictures, please. Tell him to take pictures.
100%.
Jason, you have to take pictures.
I'm gonna try to remember to take pictures.
I'll remind you, please.
I am definitely trying to remember to take pictures.
Yes, please.
I am. I swear to God.
I love how you're like, I am.
I swear to God. I'm trying.
I don't get one picture, dude. I'm gonna throw up. Yes, I'm really happy for you, Jason. Your product is very well made, and it's going to do great in the EU.
I am not an official Denny's discount holder tomorrow. He's lying to you.
Me?
Yes.
I've never lied in my entire life.
Except for when you told him tomorrow's my birthday.
Your birthday celebration win-win fun time is tomorrow.
Okay, celebrating, according to you, is tomorrow.
Of
but
course.
My birthday is Friday.
Now, there are things called birthday weeks, Jason.
Oh, Jesus. I don't want one.
Too late. You're in it.
I don't want
It's not about wanting one. You're in it.
I don't want one, Chris. I don't want this.
I'm sorry. You're right. Let's back up. Welcome to the fun win-win painting stream where we don't celebrate birthdays. False. That's incorrect. We do. Speaking of celebrating birthdays, stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to have a great time. Now he's painting the hazard stripes. Or the gauntlet. Or the big glove. What do we call that?
It's Power Fist.
It's a power fist.
I just love how there's this dude, this Inquisitor, who can just be armed with what takes, basically Titanic humans to wear this armor. And somehow he has the pull to either have a suit made for a mere mortal, or, I know this was before the lore had developed far enough for these things to be real, but still funny to me.
I can't believe we're going to have so much fun tomorrow. It's not even funny. Jason came up to me this morning,
I did not.
and he hopped and skipped over to my desk,
I
and he's
have
like,
never done that.
"Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Never.
Hey,
done
Chris, we my birthday win-win fun time is tomorrow.
that. Fun time.
Fun time, win-win, business, paint. And he's like, this is going to be big. And I'm like, I'm glad you're on board with this. And then he skipped to his office and was like, do. Hello, world. I'm Jason.
Okay, so chat, here's what really happened.
No, Jason
Chris walked into my office because I had screamed at him and said, "Who capitalizes the word do?"
Okay, wait a second. No. This is you, but when I said it, it started to make sense, right?
No.
It did.
Not even a little.
You do want it, though. You do know it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying. That's the problem 90% of the time.
Oh, no. And then he took out stupendous, and I thought that was going to be the winner. I'm like, Jason's going to love this. He's like, we're not using stupendous.
Stupendous was actually good. It was just the rest of the sentence around stupendous didn't
I
work.
understand.
So
It's
that one
okay.
got nixed. That one got
Stupendous.
kiboshed.
Okay, tomorrow.
Axed, guillotined. I took the editing hammer.
I almost put deets in there. Almost did. I'm like, Jason will give you the sassy deets. Fired on the spot. I'd fire myself if I did that because I know just blatant sin essentially. If I put deets in anything else again, no more deets.
Imagine to my chagrin,
Ah, yes.
as I'm wandering around the interwebs.
The interwebs. This is good though.
I'm wandering around the interwebs, minding my own business.
No.
Being just a normal guy, hoping for the day I get $1 off at Denny's.
Oh my gosh.
And I run across a thing that nearly ends my
No.
chance at $1 off at Denny's by causing the big one.
The big one.
And
I love that
it
you just
is
called
an
it the
ad
big
that
one.
this man has generated on social media that says, "Get the deets."
I was so excited because we were talking about deets and dudes that week, and I'm like, this is gonna slay.
It nearly slayed me and kept me from getting my senior discount. Chris trying to derail me at every turn.
It's okay. I'm learning. I've learned. I'm not learning. I've learned.
A word.
I'm a learned man. You
No,
like that?
Obviously,
I am a
you're
learned
not.
man.
And I hope Jennifer is not listening to this.
Jen's gonna take notes because you guys can't wait to see our Christmas in July extravaganza.
Okay, so you can't keep pulling that out to defend yourself, right?
Jen's-
because you think because you think Jen loves that. So
Come
you're
on,
like,
Jen.
oh,
Stick
Jen will
with me, Jen,
forgive
if
me
you're
for
out there.
saying learnt
Right? Yes, learned
on a stream
No.
where we are trying to educate people.
Technically, it's learned, but I'll take that. Okay, I'm so sorry, folks. Too much today. My brain is a fried little potato.
Did someone feed you lunch?
No, dude. I haven't eaten in 3 days. No, I've eaten in 3 days. Okay, chat, don't worry about me. Just worry about Christmas in July. Artistic Outlaw. Are the artist acrylics a permanent product going forward?
Yes.
I'm moving and want to wait till I move. Yes.
Yep,
It
yep,
will
yep.
be here.
Yep.
Chris sounds like the parent that is trying to sound hip with the lingo of the youngins. Agrippa, of course I am. I
Hello,
can't use
fellow youths.
Hello, that's what I'm saying. Oh, hey, now when you see it out there in the wild, you'll know the extreme backstory of how we take our copy seriously here. There's an extensive process.
Oh, God.
Just saying.
It's very extensive.
And that's good. I like that.
It's a few minutes on their end and hours of me cursing.
What is this? Stupid. You don't do. That was a great
Capitalizes
conversation.
do.
I do.
It's horrible.
No, you do want these. See? That's when you emphasize the D-O. You know? Cass is asking, expert acrylic wizard's butt, question mark?
Oh, no. But
How-
great idea.
How? Okay, it would just have to be straight up brown, of course. just
No.
and the label, we could put the butt upside down. That'd be great. $1 million idea. TBD.
No.
Chris, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than asking for permission. Just do it. False. I like that term, but I also hate it. Chris, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than asking for permission. I know that's a popular saying, but Chris doesn't live by that sometimes.
He's definitely lying to you because he lives by that all the time.
No, I truly don't. I do not do that.
Only with me? I'm so special?
What do you? No, I do this in my entire life. That saying and I do not go back well. You know, I am not a fan of that particular saying sometimes, personally, right? But that's just me. It's never worked well for me. That's why.
It's never.
To be honest,
well.
if we're really going into the nitty gritty, the whole ask for forgiveness and not for permission,
because you haven't been forgiven. Is that what we're saying?
Not the
I've
way.
asked for it. I've begged. I've pleaded. They don't give it.
Or you just give all the information up front and fix it and go for it and do it right. That's how I'm at. Derpstick says, how matte are the Color Forge spray cans compared to the Monument ones?
More satin.
Still very matte, but not our matte.
Yeah, they're not our matte.
Our matte is...
That's what sets our paints.
True,
even though they're made with Color Forge, our paints are very, very different because of the matte level to them.
Agrippa, as if we forgive Chris for anything. That's true. Wad says, I've asked about the HBA Wizards, but earlier I even made the pun of heavy booty acrylic. I didn't... Wad, you say these things. I'm sorry I missed it. I would have totally said that out loud if you said it. I don't know about you, Wad. I said it. There you go. I said it out loud. I don't know about you.
Wad, I'm sorry that you get gaslit constantly when you're here.
Jason. I gotta need the dudes on this guy, you know? Not the deets, the dudes. Agrippa says, one of my favorite parts of Pro Acryl is that they're so matte they were in the Martian. Yes, that is hilarious. I'll give you that, Agrippa. And yes, we do make very matte paint. That's the whole purpose. You should be sorry. It's my birthday week. What? It's your birthday week too? Happy birthday. You should be celebrated. Not here, though.
Damn.
Buried. Of course, Wad.
I didn't feed him, chat. So
no,
I don't know
I
what
didn't.
happened
I haven't
today,
eaten today. I have not eaten today. That's the point. Hey, Wad, you know I love you. You're a good man. You're a good egg.
Doesn't feel like love.
You're
Wad.
a good egg.
Doesn't feel like love, Wad. I'm just throwing that out there. Need better friends, Wad.
Wad says, man, Chris sounded like my mom. Hey, you know, I think birthday weeks should be a thing. And Jason's in one.
So is Wad. Wad can have mine.
Jason, no, it's not how it works. We get double birthday weekend or week.
I'm fine with Wad taking double.
Jason, you can't just do that.
I can do whatever I want.
You can't. Not on your birthday
then
week.
What's the purpose?
JK, she's making me dinner Saturday. Hey, love that. That's great. Nothing wrong with that. Flapjack says, even a good egg is still an egg. Okay, that's hilarious.
Do you not like eggs?
Me? Or Flapjack? Flapjack, do you not like eggs?
Flapsack. His name's Flapjack. There's eggs in Flapjacks.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Cole says, sometimes I lose my minis primed in rattlesnake matte black because they just disappear into the void.
They do.
Yeah. You can't spray them outside in the dark, that's for sure. But if you're spraying outside in the dark, you've got some problems anyway, because how are you going to see your model?
Yeah, they get so matte. It's tough to see details on them.
Yes. Oh, what does it entail? What does the B-Day week entail? I'm so glad you
Oh
asked.
Jesus!
Let me sing it to you in a song. Dun,
No,
dun, 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 dun.
please.
I don't have a song for
Thank
you.
you.
Here's what it's gonna happen. Here's what is gonna happen today. Right in front of you, Jason's painting Old Hammer. So, step 1 achieved. Put paint on the model. Expert Acrylics released today. Big start to a big week. Then, Jason's celebration, fun, win-win time is tomorrow. So, it's technically not his birthday day, but it is his birthday week. Okay?
And remember, we always give away stuff on my birthday.
That's right.
So you gang will
There's gonna be giveaways
will be
tomorrow.
celebrated tomorrow.
That's right. He is a traditional hobbit when it comes to his birthday. He gives gifts on his birthday. That's how hobbits do it. That's how I do it. God bless America.
100%.
Anyway, so we're going to do that tomorrow. Then he's abandoning us. When I say abandonment, I mean going off into the world and spreading the good word of Pro Grill.
It's my job.
So when I say abandonment, it's a good kind of abandonment. You know, it's a release, right? It's a permission. What's that?
That's my job.
That's right. So here's what's going to happen. The following day, Thursday, you guys will then be given the greatest gift of all. And
how did you turn this into being about you?
it's not about me. It's about a gift that keeps giving because it's your birthday week. So a gift that we're giving to chat is that Baby J will be with me and we'll be painting. And when I mean we, I mean you, me, Baby J, and Jason in spirit. We will be painting up a big dragon as a gift to Jason. That's the gift of that keeps giving, right? Because you want to see it, chat. We all know, hells, I want to see it. And we're going to get it done. And we're going to achieve painting Nirvana Thursday and Friday, hopefully. And exclaim to Jason's beautiful birthday week. And have some fun.
This sounds like you're using my birthday as an excuse.
An excuse? I would never. I would use it as an excuse to celebrate. Isn't that right? This gauntlet, by the way, this power fist, looking really good. I just wanted to put that out there for you.
He's just trying to butter me up now, Chad.
Hey, speaking of butter.
Welcome in, everybody.
Welcome in, everybody. Hopefully that all makes sense to you all. Jason, does that all sound good to you?
I stopped listening, so sure.
I assumed that. So, yeah, we're here.
So sure. Sounds great.
Orky Fish Falls. It's all about you guys, not about me. I'm here for you.
Somebody turned it into
100%.
I'll be sitting here painting Smaug on Thursday after Jason's left.
Yes, these are facts. I will be doing that. Spitfire Miniatures, 24 months, coming in with a hot question. Tips for cleaning a dry brush.
More often and more times. It's the same as when you're cleaning any brush. You just literally have to do it more often and more times. Usually the body of the dry brush is going to be much larger, and so it's going to maintain, much more paint in the bristles. So more and more often.
Taz has a question. Quick question on shipping. If I order USPS priority, will I need to be present to sign for the paint set?
Don't believe so. USPS priority is not a signature service unless we ask for it. In our system, we don't do that. Unless you, as the customer, contact customer service. There's not a checkbox on the website to do that. But if you, for some reason, we've had customers that live in areas where if they don't ask for signature, they just don't get the package, like out in the boonies or whatever your particular delivery agent. Yeah. So you can ask for that, but you have to contact service if you want it. Otherwise, no, you don't have to worry about it.
Nice. Monuments, can we please talk about how good the Monument flush cut clippers are? Just got a pair yesterday, and it's so damn comfy in the hand. Nice, Dusty Hobbies.
Awesome. Yeah, that was the thing for me is I want them to be ergonomic, but also have that flat blade and be able to get the job done without worrying about too much.
No, I will not be finger painting him. No. I will be using official brushes and all of the beautiful pro acryl that you see here today. That's how I'll be doing this. Tips for painting a fresh plucked turkey. Huh. There are a couple of them tied to Edison's belt. Edson's belt? I don't know what you're talking about, Spaznet.
Pyro orange. I always want to shake them.
It's just that.
It's just habit. You don't have to.
Jason, tips for painting a fresh plucked turkey. I would like to
tie it down first. It's probably going to be pissed off at you. I would think you'd need to have some way of holding it still. Or you spray paints. Or a spray gun. Lots of pressure. So as it runs around, you can still hit it.
Oh, it's Etten, two-headed giant. Oh. Who's Etten? Two-headed giant. Is that from...
Etten is a monster that is basically a two-headed giant.
Okay, so you're looking for freshly plucked turkey workup. Okay.
I had the Pyro orange in with our warm yellow, our liquid warm yellow. So here it is, mixing for a glaze. I'm going to let this kind of go back into the shadows here.
Now, Jason, I have a question for you.
Sure.
How would one paint a fresh plucked turkey? Because I think Spaznet, going back to this, is actually looking for a workup for fresh plucked turkey.
It's going to be very pale skin, right? So something in the realm of maybe olive flesh with some magenta in it to give you that really pale feeling.
Yeah.
And then you're going to need to add in probably some more magenta-y areas in like a stippling manner to give it the idea of where the feathers were plucked. Make sense? So it looks like, because the skin's going to have like those like raised, those raised areas where you've plucked the feathers out. So stippling would give you that. I think that would look really great.
And then Derpstick's follow-up question, how would you paint a cooked turkey with golden brown skin? How would you, after you've plucked the turkeys?
Browns, and then like kind of like what I'm doing right now with the glaze of yellow and orange, but doing it over brown would give it that same kind of, warmth. But I would think, golden browns would be the way to do it.
Man, this Power Fist edition you're doing has really made this whole thing come to life.
Well, it has like some color on everything now, right?
Yeah.
But until we get the stripes on, it won't make sense. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure the yellow is differentiated enough from the non-metallic gold. So I've added the orange back into it.
Yeah, it definitely looks different.
So it looks more like a painted yellow, different color.
Yeah. Warm brown, orange brown, things of nature. That's right, Flapjack. Hey, Spaznet, you're welcome.
Here we go. Here we go, chat.
What are you going to do?
Black.
You get a freehand some stripes?
Yeah. Pow. What direction should they go?
You like that?
That doesn't mean anything to me because that could mean from back to front like I'm looking at it. Do the
go
stripes want to go like this?
No.
Bing, bang, boom? Or like this?
That way.
Bang, bang, boom. But see, that's kind of already the way the arm is done. It's almost like bing, bang, boom would be more
What is the
intense.
There's no purpose for these stripes, correct?
Hazard.
No, I know that, but what are the I know that. I'm trying to think of the actual
Stay back, man.
I don't know how to speak. I am actually losing my mind. Hazard stripes.
Can you do hazard stripes on Power Fist?
Okay, I was talking about like, is there a legit way of doing hazard stripes?
No, they can go either way.
There's not. Power
chevrons, yeah, I could do chevrons. Aaron, what's going on?
Okay, here we go. This is what I was talking about. Like going
So that's
down,
that's like 30 degrees off linear.
right? Does that's what when you were pointing there the brush? This is what
I think
was
I'll do
thinking.
that, but I'll go the other direction.
Okay.
Right? Because it all has to do with like how the arm is held.
Yeah.
I just don't want them to look like they're running parallel to the surface if I can avoid it.
That makes sense.
And,
are you gonna do the gun that way too?
No.
Okay.
The gun I'll probably do in like a green, just so it's as gaudy as possible. Because this is 40K from, Rogue Trader days.
Nice. You ordered the bundle, Tess. Nice. You're gonna love them.
The new paints?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good. So good!
Aaron says, I agree with Jason Stripes going towards him, not away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like something like this.
You're just using coal black right here.
Coal black right here. I'm just going to set the stripes up initially with a sketch.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he will be doing a green base Orky Fish. Stay tuned.
No.
At some point.
I've said there's no way.
But, Jason.
No.
What?
What part of that did you not understand?
Jason.
Give myself enough distance in between the stripes to thicken them up, right? So the idea is that I want to leave enough yellow showing, so if I do kind of a medium thick line, then I can thicken it up, still allow enough of the yellow to show through.
Mm-hmm.
Here I'm rotating the model, not moving my hand.
Not actually using, I see. Nick from Gray Primer says, I'm entering my first proper painting competition this weekend and finishing off while I listen to y'all. Nice. Good luck.
Fantastic.
Hope you learned something from it. Hope the judges give you good feedback. Always feel like that's something that's super important.
100%. Demand.
Rather than just it being just out in the ether for no reason.
Yeah.
Orky Fish, Jason and I will have to have a private conversation about this green base debacle.
Oh,
we did talk about it.
Yeah, we did, and
personally,
you didn't listen.
Man to man. I was like, Jason, we need a green base. And he looked me in the eye and said, do-do-do-do-do-do. Hell no.
That would have been about the only time I would have done the do-do-do-do-do, by the way.
It would have been epic. That's okay. We've come up with a compromise. Isn't that right, Jason?
No, there's no compromise.
We did. We totally had a compromise.
Here we go. Here the gaslighting's come home, Chad.
We had a compromise. I walked into Jason's office.
The compromise was that
Jason,
we don't do it and you keep your job.
I was like, Jason, we the people, Chris specifically, would like a green base tutorial. And I want the best green base that the internet has ever seen. And he looks at me in the eye and he says, fired. And I said, no, not yet. Hear me out. And then he's like, well, maybe we'll do it. But there's a twist. And the rest is history.
Chad, X up in chat if you believe this.
You should believe it. Everything I said was an actual real thing that happened in the conversation. Orky Fish, put the green on the base. Boom. That's kind of like that, yeah. Agrippa says, now, what colors for Pro Acryl do we mix to match Goblin Green for our bases?
Refuse.
He won't give you the secret sauce until we do it in the video.
I refuse to be part of this.
Alex says, is Chris taking one for the team getting fired so we get a Goblin Green base?
Sounds
yes.
like it.
I guess so. Flapjack says the best green base rim the internet's ever seen is still capped by it being a green base rim. Yeah, I see. I get you, Flapjack. It's the theme, though. Mo says yellow green is pretty close to goblin green. Agrippa, I am not a sacrifice. I'm just trying to make sure you're heard.
He walks around here saying he's a martyr.
That's not
that's
true.
the words he uses.
I don't do that. I have to balance a lot, chat. I have to communicate with the almighty being, and then I also have to communicate with us, the people, and I am the bridge. And one must, on behalf of the people, communicate to the the powers that be. No, I am not looking for goblin green pots. No, I'm not. I want to make that very clear. I'm not looking for that. I just want Jason to do the green base in the pro acryl fashion. That's what I would like to see. You know? Look at that. That's fun. He's really looking classic now. Hey, Liquor, I'm with Sushi on this. Oh, okay. An ally? We have some allies in here. It's 50-50. With Sushi on this one. I don't know. No guarantees, chat. We'll see what happens. Flapjack. It's like I said before with the eggs. Orky fish just Photoshop it green later? No. Maybe that's the tutorial. Jason just pulls up Photoshop and just does a green based tutorial in Photoshop. That would be hilarious.
Yep. There's a methodology of a model that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's hilarious. +1, fix it in post. Alex, you know how I feel about that.
Is this our Alex?
No. This is Alex WP.
Oh. I was like, our Alex wouldn't say that, would she?
No. She knows better.
She knows better.
Nick Cray Primer says, if you're willing to compromise on do and learnt, I think Jason should compromise on green basing. Jason?
That's not your decision to make.
Nick from Gray Primer, the voice of reason.
This is not how the world works, Nick.
Panic Bomb says, Monument Hobbies, you'll be painting. You could figure it out on your own. Spread those wings and fly. I could. Don't get me wrong. I could do it. I understand.
It sounds like a great thing for you to do on Thursday when I'm gone.
No, Jason, I want you to do it. No, I don't know what's worse. Me doing it on stream where Jason is having to watch in a plane this happen, or having Jason do it. Having him do it, or having it have it in front of him. And I just might have had a little stroke there, so
I don't know what just happened.
I don't know what just happened either, dude. I'm just glad you're here. That's all I'm going to say, because it's your birthday week.
Chris, I don't know what I'd do without you.
I know 1,000 things you probably could do without me. No, I appreciate it. Philip says, I can't wait for Smog to have a goblin green base. That's not happening. I really don't want to get... No. We're going to do that model right, and we're going to do it well. I'm going to get that in writing. I did the base. Base is kind of already done. Dark says, do the red earth and the gray earth basing textures have some grit? Do they have grit? I was looking at the snow-based methodology. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do. They're what we call ultra and super fine for the cement and the snow, but they still have grit. The red earth is the same as the brown and gray. It's just in the fine.
No, I will do Smaug upright. I think we're gonna have some fun, Jason.
I don't know how I got lines in there, but there
You
go.
did.
Lines.
I see them. Look at that.
They actually match to some extent.
That looks great.
There we go.
I like it. Everybody needs to
Take
turn
some,
in next month's paint
dark
challenge with
neutral
a
gray.
green base. No, we will not be doing that. We will not be doing a challenge. Out of the will of Jason, if a green base actually does happen, I'll owe him big.
Not a chance. I'm not.
He's gonna do it, chat.
I'm not giving up my moral structure.
Mo says, do we get extra points for green bases? I won't say that out loud, and I will not encourage it.
I am not
But,
giving up
you know.
my moral structure
Your moral structure.
for green bases.
Christopher is in the bartering part of grief. That is hilarious, Philip. Green base with hot pink flowers. Now, that's a great idea, but not in the bases that I'm talking about. Now, I think green with like flower bases, like on a halfling Blood Bowl team, would be really dope. Or your hobbits from Hobbiton from Middle Earth strategy, right? That could be good. Any kind of halfling or gnome. You know, I'm talking OG bases. Mo, it wasn't a no, but it wasn't a yes. No, you don't get extra points for green bases in my book. I will not encourage this. And that's my public standing opinion.
Wait, you're the one that's encouraging
No.
it the whole time.
I'm encouraging you, not chat.
That's not fair. I don't understand this at all.
Speaking of not fair, Jason, it's about that time.
No. I'm
This
having
is
fun.
it for you.
Other than the being lambasted for the green base thing, I'm actually having a good day today.
You're having a great day today, except for the green base part?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to ruin it. That's just a travesty. I should have known. I shouldn't have brought it up on his birthday week. He does have a good point there. Panic Bomb says, next month I'm just submitting a green base with no mini. Panic Bomb, do not do that. You will be disqualified. And I say that on behalf of my friend here, Jason H. Craze.
Why am I Jason H now?
HBDC Craze. Oh my gosh, it's Tuesday. I just had a for real moment there.
It is Tuesday, as a matter of fact.
Doesn't feel like it. Who are you looking for now?
Neutral gray.
Neutral gray.
We did dark neutral gray, not neutral gray. Remember, when you're highlighting, you have to highlight all the colors consistently with the shape of the arm, not to the line. So you're not necessarily highlighting the line. And I know that's hard to figure out or to understand sometimes, but the line itself has no edge, is really the way to put that. The line is simply painted on. And so we have to be careful as we paint them to not give them a dimension, because they're just the surface here. So
Paint Liquor says, well, travel safe, Jason and co. He will travel safe. Technically, he's not flying the plane, but he'll travel safe. Really up to the pilot.
also true.
I don't know
I
if
always say
Jason
that.
has any control over traveling
I would say
safe.
that. Travel safe. Don't have any control over it. But I will get on the plane and hope for the best.
Hey, we love the best wishes, and we do wish best wishes to Jason, you know?
I will get on there and hope for the best.
He's a good guy.
I will get on and I will tell the pilot, hey, my chat says you better get me there in one piece. I'm sure he'll enjoy that.
Hobby ADHD says, I've missed most of the stream, but please tell me we're not still talking about green bases. We're not anymore. That's old news. Pilot on the intercom says, is there a streamer on board? Gosh dang. If Jason gets himself into a situation where a pilot over the intercom asks that question and he wouldn't stand up, I don't know what's good for the world. I am. Everybody starts clapping. Yay, we're saved. Alexander, no, I will not paint. I won't paint it. I won't paint it. I won't paint the green base. I'm not touching this model. I won't do it.
Going back in after the fact here with some of the warm yellow and just adding some deets and doots that make it look like it's chipped.
Nice.
Right?
Deets and Doots. You heard it. That's right, Alexander. Deets and Doots. We've coined it here. Jason's all about the Deets and Doots. Streamer? Oh, I thought the pilot said streaker. That's hilarious. Tadpole Jackson is asking, sorry if this has already been asked 100 times, do the artist acrylics thin down similar to regular pro acryl?
Yeah. I mean, you can do anything you want to with them if that's what you're asking. With a little bit of water on the brush, you can do amazing things.
Oh my gosh, Spaznet, that's hilarious. Spaznet said it would almost be worth the money to bribe the pilot on Jason's plane to come on the PA and ask a paint color mix question.
Hey, I don't know if any of you are into Warhammer, but I have been trying to figure out how to make goblin green for my bases on my old hammer, and I thought maybe, just maybe, some of you might have some suggestions for me.
And for the rest of you, that turn off the seatbelt sign is off so you can walk about the cabin at will. And we're at our cruising altitude of 35,000 feet. Wad says, I need to bounce. Have a great night. Wad,
You too, buddy.
happy birthday week.
May brothers.
Hey, May brothers. May you be with us, brothers. May the 9th be with you.
Oh, God.
May the 30th be with you.
Oh, my God.
That's the
It
title
only
of the
gets
stream.
worse from here, chat.
May the 9th before Christmas.
So bad.
I really messed that one up, and I love it. I really messed that one up. Rattle can, I know that would be hilarious. Agrippa says, happy birthday, Jason. Have safe flights. Love you guys. Even Chris. Hey, Agrippa, we're here for you. Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Phoenix, Arizona. We appreciate you appreciating us.
Thank you. It is about quitting time.
I'm letting you do whatever you want, Jason. This is your birthday week. Think we're overdue for a celebratory train whistle? There you go. I deliver to the people. I'm also really liking this final effects on this power fist here. Personally, let the process come to fruition. Look at that. Oh, looks so good. Looks so good. So nice to be so nice of you to let the boss do what he wants. That's right, Mo. That's right.
Heck with that guy.
Agrippa, it's so old hammery. Yes. That's what it is. Gonna lay down the old hammer. That's what we titled it. I titled that just for you, Agrippa. It's very old hammery.
As I go through and glaze a little bit of highlight across this middle section up on the top, I'm using the pale yellow across all of the colors. Remember, don't let the lines wind up with any definition that makes them seem like their own thing. You pop in closer. Right. So use the pale yellow and highlight the black and the yellow.
Yeah, okay. I see
and now it unifies the colors and makes it more that it's the arm that's being highlighted, not the stripes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There you go.
Where's my vortex grenade template? No. This looks so good, almost makes me want to chuck dice in a tray for 6 hours. That's right, Alexander.
Having a lot of fun with this guy. It's a fun old quirky sculpt. You know, it's great.
I like it.
Vortex grenades. Holy
crap. I need
crap.
my scatter dice and my artillery die and my sustained fire dice. No jams.
Deviation dice. Yeah, your scatter dice. Yep, with that big ass template. The what was it? The void template. That may have only been Titanicus. Basically, everything ever disappeared. No saving throw. There's been some really brutal times in 40K, by the way.
I have no
what
idea
were called
what
D weapons.
Said,
like D weapons, the Eldar Titans would come out and shoot a D weapon, and the template would fall down, and nobody got a saving throw, and anybody that was hit just disappeared. Lift them off the table, gone.
What?
Didn't matter what it hit.
I kind of love that, but that sounds brutal.
Didn't matter.
Well,
thank you so much, Dusty. Look at you.
Ghost Hunter's not here today.
Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Again, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. For those of you that have been in the States celebrating Memorial Day, hope you had a wonderful holiday. We're back at it for today and tomorrow. I'm here, and then we turn it over to Christopher and Jordan. I will be gone for 7 stream days. Yeah. One of the longest trips I've taken. So I'll be gone Thursday, Friday, and then all of next week. But Chris and Jordan are going to take good care of you. Jordan's going to be doing some fun painting next week. Chris is going to start on Smaug on Thursday.
Yep.
Lots
Thursday
of fun there.
Friday.
So they're going to have a lot of cool stuff that they've got planned. I'm excited to hear what everybody thinks and see if you survive. But thanks for tuning in with us today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Remember to check the links that Chris has put up there in chat, not least of which is the monumenthobbies.com link, where you can check out all of the cool products. We just released the new Expert Artist acrylics, the paste acrylics, in the store this morning. So they're up and available on the shop right now. Make sure to check out the Discord, where, according to Dusty, we've got 5,698 amazing artists who enjoy a good goblin butt.
Ooh, just under 5.
I don't think we were supposed to out them in public like that. That's a private fetish. So, but we would love to see you over on the Discord. It is an amazing community of artists just like yourself at all stages of their painting journey, so you can get great inspiration, ask cool questions, get good feedback. It's a great place. Tell bad jokes, see what people are eating or feeding their dogs. It's amazing. So we'd love to see you over there. And then make sure to tune in a little bit longer. Chris is going to find us somebody to raid, show love in the chat we wind up in, and we will catch you back here tomorrow. Have a great night. I'm out.